Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Scuff 50K here at UMG DC. I am Brycey. Joining me here is Chance. How are you, my friend?
I'm pretty tired, to be completely honest. Like, woke up, like, kind of rolled out of bed.
That's not what I want to hear. It's the first game we're going to get to do.
It is the first thing. I've been drinking G Fuel. I've been, like, chugging it just to, like, kind of amp myself up. So hopefully I'll be able to bring the hype factor. I had Jerky XP
for breakfast. Basically, we're just living off the sponsors here.
I know. At this point, like, we just have to take, like, the free stuff where we can get it. But it's delicious at the very least, which is fun.
It's a great breakfast. I'm enjoying it every morning I have it.
Yeah, I got, like, the scratchy voice and all that, though. So, like, I need something to amp me up for the rest of the day. So hopefully to be able to come in full force. But we should be all right because we, got a great matchup underway as well. This is the winners semifinals. It's going to be Denial going against eLevate. Kind of two juggernauts in the Call of Duty community going head-to-head.
I think this is going to be a really good game. I think it's a really good skill matchup. It should be very, very close between these two squads. And for me, I'm looking forward to this game. I mean, there are some huge games on today with the way the bracket is working out. I mean, the first one we saw this morning, kind of a grudge match. Yeah. This one should be another rip snorter.
Yeah, without a doubt. And it's kind of one of those things that, you think of a team like eLevate just come off a win at MES, but not only win, they just looked absolutely phenomenal, and they haven't appeared to slow down at all. And when you look at that team, it is an absolutely scary roster as long as all of them come to play. I mean, you look at TJ Hallett, you just think, uplink kind of mastermind sort of thing is what people like to call him. Very great in S&D as well. And then everyone likes to talk about Slack. Courage even mentioned earlier that, that's his player to watch. If he can perform, he's going to be phenomenal. Then, of course, you actually see Slack with Diddy Kong as well, weirdly enough. Of course, Saints, another fantastic player, and when he gets hot, it just becomes absolutely destructive. And then, of course, kind of tying that entire roster together, of course, is going to be classic, a veteran in the scene, one of my favorite players to watch.
Yeah, I mean, this squad, there are so many big names in both of these two teams here. It's, like I said, I fully believe this is going to be an incredible game. It should not end at 3-0, in my opinion, simply because both these squads are very, very good. For me, eLevate have, they've had a really good tournament. Denial have had maybe a more shaky start in places. It's still confident, it's still very good, but if there's a difference, that might be it. But it's just about matchups, it's about counterplay. Anything can happen, especially when these two squads are this close.
Yeah, and kind of talking about that, how eLevate has just looked fantastic so far. I would definitely give them the edge. Yeah. But then when you look at Denial's roster, the first thing that pops in my mind is just Hugh, that terrifying face, that baby face kid is just an absolute killer, an absolute killer. Now, my favorite thing probably to do is go into Denial team chat listen-ins, but of course that entire roster, Replays used to team with Classic again, two of my favorite players to watch from way back in the early Black Ops 2 days. Slasher has been phenomenal so far in Advanced Warfare. And then you really can't say any negative things about Temp. He's just phenomenal in this game, completely through and through.
You are completely correct. And it's the reason when we talk about this matchup, Chance, that we're sitting there going, well, there's no weakness. Where do we try to find out where the weakness is in these two squads? Two very stacked rosters, two very good teams about to go head-to-head here on the main stage. And I think we're going to see some very close games. For me, there's no way this should be a blowout. Both teams have got enough in the tank, and they've got enough skill in all the game modes to make sure that at the very least, even if it is a 3-0, every single game mode should be close.
Yeah, and I'm just going to go ahead and jump straight to the predictions just to kind of give you an idea of what these teams are like. I think Denial in this first map is going to be able to outslay their opponent by a relatively decent margin. eLevate's not going to be too far behind, especially if Saints comes out hot. But I do think eLevate's still going to be able to take the map. I think they're going to play the objective a lot more objective-minded is how I should phrase that, more so than Denial will. Denial's going to focus on the kills a bit too much, and I think that's going to cost them. But of course, if they start going off, again, when Hugh gets the hot hand, it is just complete destruction, and wouldn't put it past either of these teams to be able to pull off a victory.
Well, you know what? Let's jump straight into this game, and we're going to go on board with Replays first of all.
Replays, a very nice choice. Of course, you got to expect he's going to be, one of the first, if not the first guy to be in the hill. Of course, he's also a world champion, which is not too shabby of a tagline to attach to him. But
there's only 11 of them.
Yeah, there's only 11 at this point. Karma 2 rings, loving that tagline as well. But of course, there you see Replays already going for the flank, but the gunfight's going down the middle, and Classic and TJ going to get those first two bloods.
On board with Temp, just trying to make some shots here for himself. He's going to go down in hospital at the same time. On board with Hook, and he's been one of the big names this weekend, really dropping ridiculous numbers.
Yeah, without a doubt. Now Slasher, you can see, is just getting stunned out of his mind. But it's not going to make a difference because, again, Replays, without a doubt, the OBJ player for this Denial squad, trying to milk as much hill time as possible. And again, you see the slang numbers already coming down in their favor. Slasher getting off to a nice start at 4-2.
Now they're obviously going to want garage control here, and Hook is trying to get it for him so he can cover his teammate's door. Unfortunately, he's going to go down anyway. They weren't able to get in position quite yet to hold down middle hill here, and that's one of the strategies you do here. First of all, make sure you got at least one of your teammates' doors, and then you need to push out the Hardpoint as much as possible. But right now, great job here from Denial. They're doing exactly what they need to. This rotation battle is going to be super important. It's going to be the guys from eLevate, first of all, stacked up.
And this is kind of the reason why you see Denial oftentimes will be able to outslay their opponent, but still won't be able to get the victory. It's because they often get outbeat on the rotations. You can see eLevate wasted no time. So eLevate, despite being down by 20 after the first, still, again, has been able to pull every single second on this. So it's going to take more kills for Denial to be able to break back in.
TJ Halley trying to get into the score here is going to go down from this 3-streak. Saints reinforcing Classic into Green Hill. Not the greatest actually of positions right now for eLevate. They could be a little bit vulnerable to this rotation. They are. Now, this is the hard job. Can they slay this back out here? They are going to get the pinch, and they're looking for one more. They have managed to get it here. Like I said, eLevate stacked 2 in the hill. I would have actually liked to see that player maybe rotate back out towards back trailer and just try to kind of deflect this.
Well, you can see those Slash was able to pick up 2 to try and help break back into that hill, and it looks like eLevate is going to be successful in doing so. Of course, the gunfight's going down left and right. Players from Denial still trying to push in the back. It looks like Hugh going to be that guy to get in the hill, and you can see Temp already getting those cutoff kills. Of course, just the final seconds on this hill, and again, you see who wins that rotation battle. eLevate once again.
Yeah, and you know what? We've actually, we've critiqued other teams for doing this weekend. I mean, Optic being one of them, and said, there's some reasons the EU can be the biggest slaying team, but to do a hard break every single time, you're actually just putting the odds against you. Winning a rotation battle, although you can lose some scrap time, and even if you don't win it, not having that consistent rotation can really hurt your squad.
Yeah, without a doubt, it's kind of like that Optic Gaming sort of idea where it's like we have the confidence in our gun skill to be able to break the hills. But again, we're going to see how it plays out. eLevate currently with about a 20-point lead. Denial's going to be in the hill, but Huke is going to fall to Saints. Replay's trying to push in the front, but again, it's Saints going to be there as well. But now again, kills getting traded left and right. Temp's going to be contesting, but this is where those favorable spawns come into play. Denial is going to have to heavily outslay eLevate to get that successful break, as eLevate is just going to be constantly flooding in from the side.
Wow, this is just absolute two teams slugging at each other. They really have been going full force here, but again, we're going to see eLevate with the rotation. They have yellow control. Big kills coming down at TJ Halley here. He's going to be looking to lock it down. Sees Hook, first of all, takes down 1. Sees 2 more players, and he is alone here. He should be able to get pinched. He's super weak, and there are 4 players coming against him.
Yeah, without a doubt. Everyone from Denial flooding in the back, and it looks like they might be winning some of their gunfights as well. But I want to point out, eLevate, again, won that rotation battle. Of course, now you do see Huke is able to pick up 2 replays, and Temp are both going to be there. So that's going to be a successful break in the first 20 seconds of that hill, and they're going to start trying to work their way back into this game. But it hasn't paid off so far, because we've seen eLevate is also extremely capable of re-breaking hills.
Well, it's taken them so long to kind of break that hill, and one of the things people need to bear in mind when you say, oh, they only got 10 seconds, what they actually got is it's a 20-point difference, because you have to make those 10 seconds back. So for every second that you kind of miss on a rotation, it kind of doubles up.
Yeah, without a doubt, and eLevate just flooding 3 people in the front, but Replay is going to be able to catch all 3 off guard on that flank. TJ Halley not able to win that final gunfight, so Replay's, more or less single-handedly breaking the hill for Denial there. And again, you see they're trying to get themselves back into this, but going into that last hill, it is going to be only a 5-point differential.
Oh,
and look
my
at
God.
Denial. Huke's able to pick up 2. Temp's going to get the next 2, and Denial wins their first rotation.
Difference here, chances they did go into that rotation first, and not only that, but big plays from Hook and Temp to lock it down, and so far they're getting the points back with nobody in the hill, and it looks now like the guys from eLevate going to be able to try to push through, but no, denied again. Temp makes another kill. Both squads now not in the position to do so. TJ Halley will be busting down. He goes Hook with another kill going into the Hardpoint. Both teams slugging it out here, trying to lock this one down. Saints comes flying in, still gets denied.
Yeah, Saints though going to need to heat up a little bit more, sitting at 11-19, not quite pulling his weight for the squad yet, but you can still going to be a very close game with 7 caps to his name. Again, this is a very objective-minded team, especially they know what they're going up against when they're playing Denial. I don't even know what the expectation is that they're going to be able to outslay them, but they got to make sure they have bodies in the hill at all times, and they're doing just that. About to make it a tie game. eLevate going to be able to take the lead in the final seconds of this hill.
Here we go. This is where it comes down to all kind of even, and you know what, for both squads to do this, you got to be saying maybe for Denial is actually kind of a victory here. They go back in the middle Hardpoint as close as they have. Especially considering how the rotations have gone the majority of the way through. It's only been some big holds from them that have brought them this close. But as we go into the middle here, they will take the lead just by 1 point.
Yeah, and just look at that stat line. All 4 players currently for Denial positive. Of course, Replay is just at that break-even margin. You see Temp having a very nice game as well, +9. But again, it's all about that hill pressure as well. And it looks like eLevate's going to be in there. Huke, though, was able to pick up 2. Huke actually going to be able to get all 3, and Temp trying to win that gunfight against TJ Halley. But TJ Halley going to be the first one trying to break in. But of course, Slasher also going to be there for those cutoff kills. so hard to break through the defenses of Denial because you kill one player, but then you got to be facing another one who just is ridiculously talented.
You can already see eLevate are looking at that rotation. They don't want to overcommit here and lose it, knowing that realistically, yes, we need to stop them getting this many points on this middle hill, but we also need to be so wary of this next rotation through green, and here comes that rotation battle. Classic's going to be in a great position to shut it down. One more player, it's Hug. Hug will go down, take him down at the same time, and Hug is actually turning it around. He might be able to grab the spawns for his team here, and he has. Now, can he continue on this rampage? Gets in his third kill at the same time, pushes through green, and he single-handedly changed the fortune for his squad.
Yeah, without a doubt, going to be on the 5 streak as he completely turns on Slack there. Going to be winning every single gunfight that he's got in for this life. Of course, replays, though, able to pick up 2, and Hugh still has been able to milk every single second of this hill time. They've now had the biggest lead that they've had this entire game by nearly 30 points. And, of course, you see all of those red arrows just spawning so far away. And, again, they have to get through that original defensive line just to go run into an angry Hugh.
Yeah, I mean, that was just ridiculous there. That's his 6th kill in a row. Look for TJ Halley backing off before he gets taken down. And he is now going to be challenged, and TJ Halley will eventually drop Hook. But, I mean, the work had already been done to get that rotation, to get those kills, and then to pick up a 2-piece in the Hardpoint as well after breaching it. Fantastic play. They're well deserving of being ahead at this moment simply for that reason.
Yeah, and you can see how much importance eLevate is placing on this next hill. They decided to rotate over with, 12 seconds left that they potentially could have pushed, but they have it completely locked down with all 4 men up right now. They just need to make sure they keep those spawns so Denial can't flood in, because that's what happened last time. Of course, Saint's going to be in the hill, wins that first gunfight, but you can see Temp picking up kills outside the hill. Important gunfight, but Saints is going to win that one, but still, Saint's more or less by himself because Denial has those good spawns.
But look at this, they have slowed down here now, Denial, and they've given the chance for reinforcements come in. Saints will eventually drop. The Tracer coming in everywhere, and right now it's going to be eLevate who just have a little bit of an advantage going, and they have enough bodies.
Yeah, I don't like that push from Denial as well. They sent 2 people to pinch out, but they sent 2 on one side up ramp at the exact same time. They got some kills, but got traded out, and then the next 2 came to the front. Of course, now, though, as a team, they were able to successfully break Denial, again, re-extending their lead.
Well, here we go. This is really important. They've got to hold this to the scrap time. And if they do, they might have a chance. But the rotation's going to prove so kind of crucial in yellow. The issue being here is that when you go into the last 2 hills on any hard point, this far behind, it forces you to play a specific way. You know you have to keep pushing. Some teams actually get a little bit worked up and maybe don't go and sacrifice the time to go for the flank.
Yeah, without a doubt. But now you can see eLevate again, trying to flood into the hill more or less. Temp's going to win that gunfight. Hugh showing up as well.
Wow.
Temp going to be able to pull off 2, and Saint's going to be that last one to try and break into the hill. And well, he's running into a Temp with the hot hand. 35 and 23 is what Temp is sitting at right now. And of course, he is not going to slow down anytime soon. He's going to be on a 4 streak. Going to have the 5th right in front of him. Takes 3 players that Temp has near him to take him down.
Right now, you're going to see eLevate, and they need a super hold here. They have to do so much work to lock this one down, and then get a rotation, and then hold Skull to bring it back, because there is a massive deficit with the time left.
They can still do this, so they did get all 4 down in their favor, but they got to win the gunfights while they're in the hill. And TJ Halley, though, going to be that first one attempt. Of course, going to be the player to drop them. Slasher showing up as well, and again, you see eLevate just kind of forced to flood the hill, even with just 5 seconds left. Slack going to be able to potentially get this scrap time, but again, you see 2 players from Denial still there, but that's actually going to cause them to spawn at the very bottom of the map. So eLevate is going to have the good spawns, but still down by 30 points, only 45 seconds left in this game.
Interesting thing there, what we're talking about when you kind of force a player a specific way. TJ Halley, he wanted to actually push towards pit. He wanted to push it out, couldn't do, knowing that he had to get the hill time. And that forced him to kind of push back here, and they weren't able to play it exactly how they wanted to. When TJ Halley gets 2, still trying to do this here. It's still just possible by the smallest of margins.
Yeah, eLevate, though, going to have to hold every single second. Denial's been extremely good at breaking the hills multiple times, and already that's going to be 3 down in their favor. Classic going to be the last one there. Slack kind of pushing as well. You can see Denial at least contesting. Slack, though, going to be able to pick up 2, but 15 seconds left. There is just not enough time. eLevate, he's picking up kills towards the end, but it's too little too late. Replay's picking up 2, getting himself in the hill. Denial, again, they just have to flood towards the end there, and you can see Temp, phenomenal game, positive Temp. Hugh, as you'd expect, is able to drop the 40 bomb, finishes off with 43 kills. Denial able to outslay their opponent and got the victory by a small margin, but the player that I want to point out is Saints. I did not expect Saints to play that slowly. 21 and 38. That is not a performance that he can have. If not everyone shows up to the plate or to the table against Denial, Denial is going to be able to run it right over them.
And look at this difference here, and there is one thing I want to point out, that big rotation battle we saw for Green second time round. Classic, there were 3 players against 3 players. Classic got 2. And Hugh managed to come through here, and they gained what? 50 seconds. I think it was massive amount of time they got off that hill.
Yeah, and then that's like really when the game just kind of blew open. After that is when we saw the biggest lead Denial had. And of course, eLevate towards the end was able to close in on it, but that mistake earlier on just cost them too many points, and of course they weren't able to work from the deficit.
But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, when you watch a team that far behind going to the last 2 hard points, you know they're having to sacrifice things. We saw TJ Halley, he looked fire, he looked like he wanted to push pit, but he went, I've got to get back into the hard point because my teammates aren't here yet. And if he'd managed to push through, he probably would have caught somebody in pit, been able to push out the hard point as you need to. But, you know, like I said, it's the sacrifices you have to make in that scenario.
Yeah, without a doubt. But again, close game number 1, you know, an 8-point margin between these two teams. We're going to go to commercial break, but when we come back, map number 2, Search and Destroy, going to be underway.